Okay, kids, we almost finished. After today, we have one more lesson and we'll be done. We're going to continue factoring completely, but now we're going to do trinomials. Today, in the lesson from yesterday, we did factor completely using binomials. And now we're going to do trinomials. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be GCF first, then double bubble. Ok, criaturas, hoy vamos a empezar con el penúltimo tema de la escuela de verano. Hoy vamos a factorizar completamente trinomios. Ayer hicimos binomios cuando hacíamos el GCF primero y luego doble burbuja. Ahora vamos a hacer lo mismo con los trinomios, máximo común divisor primero y doble burbuja. Pero antes que todo vamos a hacer los ejercicios de calentamiento para refrescar la memoria en cómo factorizar, trinomios. So guys, as I do now, we're going to factor trinomials so we can refresh your mind. And the first one we're going to do is when the leading coefficient is 1. So when the leading coefficient is 1, the only thing you do is you open a set of parentheses, okay? Now, because C is negative, so you need different signs. You're going to need plus and a minus. Then you're going to distribute your x, and you're going to find two factors of 6. Then when you multiply them, will give you 6, and when you subtract them, will give you 1. So it's going to be 3 and 2. Now, 3 is going to be the plus because you want your answer to be positive, and 2 is going to be negative, right? Because positive 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, and plus 3 minus 2 is positive 1. Okay, remember, factoring is a relationship between B and C. So now let's do second one. See, in the second one, the value of A is greater than 1. So when this number is greater than 1, we're going to use AC, okay? So AC is going to be the multiplication of 8 times 3. That's going to give you 24. Because that's positive, you're going to have equal signs, okay? Equal signs. So open your set of parentheses. And remember, you're going to keep the 8, okay? When we do the AC, you keep the leading coefficient. And you do both plus because the middle term is plus. If that would have been negative, then both bubble will be negative. So 2 factors is 24. That when I add them will give you 10. It's going to be 6 and 4. 6 times 4, 24. 6 plus 4, 10. Now, remember, you have to divide by the GCF. The GCF here, I think, is 2, and the GCF here is 4. Obi. Once you divide, you're going to end up with 4x plus 3 because 8 divided by 2 is 4. I'm sorry, that's my dog that is barking. 8 divided by 4 is 2x, and 4 divided by 4 is 1. So you know all this, okay? So remember, why am I doing this? Because you need to know this when we're going to factor completely. All right? Or be quiet. So, let me just quickly explain this in Spanish, right? To my Spanish-speaking kids. Muchachos, ok, en estos dos trinomios, ustedes se dan cuenta, en este el valor de A es 1. So, aquí automáticamente abro mis paréntesis y encuentro mis factores, ok? Como el último es negativo, usamos signos diferentes, right? Y siempre el número mayor lleva el signo de en medio. So 3 por 2 es negativo 6 y 3 menos 2 es 1. Ahora en este, el valor de A es mayor que 1. Cuando es mayor que 1, usamos el método de AC. O sea, la multiplicación de 8 por 3, que le da 24. Como el 24 es positivo, son signos iguales. So los dos van a ser más porque el signo de en medio es positivo, right? So, los factores son 6 por 4, 24, 6 más 4, 10. Acuerden, cuando son signos iguales, los factores se van a sumar. Luego, en este caso, las dos burbujas tienen máximo común divisor. Aquí el máximo común divisor es 2. So, cuando dividen entre 2, les resulta en este binomio. Y esta burbuja, cuando dividen entre 2, les resulta en esto. Lo que vamos a hacer ahora es factorizar completamente. Primero, tenemos que usar el máximo común divisor y luego hacer doble burbuja. ¿Ok? So, let's get to work. I wrote this step there for you, so today we're doing this, okay? We're using the reversal foil. Yesterday we did dots, difference to squares. So, Remember what I said when we were factoring trinomials? That sometimes when you have a trinomial, the GCF, 99% of the time is the smallest number, okay, from the trinomial. So here, the GCF is going to be 2 because 2 divides 2, divides 2, and divides 60. So the GCF is going to be 2. So the 2 is going to be outside, okay? Now, when I divide by 2, what do I get? I get x squared, okay, minus 2 divided by 2 is 1, so it's just x, minus 30 divided by 60 divided by 2 is 30. Okay, same thing. Now, because this is 30 and it's negative, we're going to need different sign, okay? So minus and plus, x and x, don't forget to bring down the 2, and 2 factors of 30 that when you subtract it will give you 1. So it's going to be 6 and 5. 6 times 5 is 30, and 6 minus 5 is 1. So 6 got to go here, and 5 have to go there. So that is, okay, the GCF of number 1. So that's what we have to do today. Obi, stop. Sorry, guys, but I can help it. Now, the GCF here, what I mean, the GCF here is not going to be 8 because you cannot divide 20 by 8. So the GCF, I believe, is 4, okay? Stop behind it, okay? So the GCF goes out, and now you're going to divide everything by 4. So 8 divided by 4 is 2. X squared plus 20 divided by 4 is 5x, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Now remember, when we divide here, the value of a will be automatically 1. But here, when I divide by the GCF, the value of a is 2. So in order for you to factor this, you have to do the bridge method, okay? So what you have to do is we're gonna add that, and we're gonna do it separately. So we have to do AC. So the AC here is 4, okay? So now you're gonna keep the GCF out, and because this is positive, you're gonna have same sign. So they're both gonna be positive. So remember, when we use the AC, we keep the first term, okay? 2x, and they're both gonna be plus. Two numbers, 2 factors of 4, then when you multiply, add them will give you 5. It's gonna be 4 and 1. Okay? So now this one has GCF, that doesn't have a GCF. So what you do is just divide, okay? And that should be your answer. Okay, so we have 2 different scenarios. When it's the value of a is 1, you do automatically double bubble, and when the GCF is, the first term is greater than 1, you use AC. Okay, here. Remember, you can never have your leading coefficient as 1, negative. So the GCF here is actually -1, okay? So look, so the AC, I hope I didn't give you anything like this on the homework, but if you do that, I'm just gonna forget about this because this is how you're gonna do it in the homework. So if you divide by -1, everything by -1, so your -1 is gonna be outside, and you're gonna have x to the 4th, minus 2x minus 8. Because we divide by 1, everything changes signs, okay? Now here, remember, just don't be afraid, only because it's x to the 4 is gonna be the same thing, because what you have to do is, instead of putting x and x, you're gonna put x squared here and x squared there. Because this one, okay guys, I'm sorry, I forgot it. This one is negative, you need different signs. So 1 minus, 1 plus, and 2 factors of 8 that we use to subtract will give you 2, is gonna be 4 and 2. And don't forget the -1 to the front. So I'm not sure, I hope I didn't give you anything like that on the homework, all right? But that's how would you approach that. GCF here is -2. So we're gonna divide everything by -2. So -2 will be outside, open parentheses. And when we divide by -2, you will have here +x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, you're dividing everything by 2. You should be familiar with this, so I don't have to spend any time on it. So negative 2 remains outside, and you're going to do your 2 sets of parentheses. Because the last one is negative, you need different signs. 1 minus, 1 plus, 1 is for me, 1 x for you. 2 factors of 6, then when you subtract them, will give you 1. It's going to be 3 and 2. And that should be your answer. Nothing new. You should be able to know how to factor. So if you don't learn how to factor using the GCF before, that was your mistake, because you're supposed to ask for help. So let's go in the back. I think we have 4 more. All right. Okay, the GCF of this trinomial.